Good job, gentlemen. Good job.
Yes, sir.
He used to be assigned to the Swiftwater.
Awesome.
What does CHP say?
Okay.
Hi, ladies. So is this your first time?
Second.
Second time. So you did the 40 the first time.
Yeah. We did the very first one like 4 years ago,
Oh, wow. Wow.
and now we're doing the fourth one.
So this one's a little easier on you.
So
So
far.
it's only 22, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's half of what the last one was.
And the route is totally different.
Yeah.
Way different.
Perfect. Thank you.
It looks like to me.
All right, perfect. Good job, gentlemen. Keep it up. Keep it up. This is your first time, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Nice. Keep it up. You're doing great. Doing great. Doing great. You got this.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Doing great. I think we're at what, 6.5 miles.
About there, yeah.
We ready to call it quits?
No. There's a big group behind you. Awesome, thank you. Oh, yeah. Yep. Have you signed the waiver already? Did you sign the waiver? No? No, I signed up for mine. So I said, did you sign up on here? No. Okay. Go ahead. The waiver. It's raining harder. Rain looks cool with those lights. What does CHP say about the lights?
Oh, nothing.
Alright, we keep chugging. I feel good. Alright guys, let's keep it going.
All right. All right. I'll...
Hang on a second. He's going to turn the lights on.
You guys get it. Smush, smush, smush.
We got plenty of room down this way.
Good evening, ma'am. Can you tell me your first and last name and spelling, please?
Evita, E-V-I-T-A, Dela Cruz, D-E-L-A-C-R-U-Z.
Avita, where are we, and what is occurring here tonight into Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day?
We are currently at the American Legion Post in Norco, California, and tonight is the 4th annual Veteran Suicide Awareness Project Ruck March.
So in the past, you guys have ruck marched from the city of Pomona or Covina, depending on which year it was. And now we're starting off in the city of Norco. Can you explain a little bit behind that process?
We cut the mileage down from 40 to 22 to get a better turnout. So this year we have about 120 people registered, which is good. And we also changed it to 22 miles to represent the 22 veterans who die by suicide every single day.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about your own personal history and what brought about your motivation to start up your organization?
I'm an Iraq veteran. I was a medic in the Air Force, and I met my husband in Iraq. He died by suicide over 6 years ago. So I founded Veteran Suicide Awareness Project in his honor.
Now I see that all these participants are carrying a flag.
Yes.
Is there a meaning behind the flags?
On each flag is a picture of a veteran who died by suicide.
Perfect. And what? So they also are carrying rucksacks, or for those who don't know, in layman's terms, backpacks. So in those backpacks, what did they have? Is it just water, or is there some sort of meaning behind the backpacks or rucksacks?
People can carry anything in their rucksack. Personally, I carry a pair of my husband's boots and some of his other belongings in my rucksack, which weighs about 22 pounds.
So again, the purpose of the 22 pounds is to represent the number of veterans who commit suicide each and every day.
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Colonel Simmons, why are you hiding?
Why are you yelling?
I was watching
What do you do?
Make sure you don't blink. Everyone's gonna like this.
Good job, guys. Keep it up. Keep it up.
For our brothers and sisters.
That's right. Good evening, sir. Can you tell me your first and last name with the spelling, please?
Mike Malari, M-U-L-A-R-I.
Mr. Malari, is this your first time doing this Veteran Suicide Awareness Ruck March?
My first time.
So you're prepared for this 22-mile?
We'll see, man. Did it years ago when I was in the military, but it's been a while. Put on a couple pounds since then.
So I see that you got a crowd behind you.
Yeah.
Is this your friends and family?
Yeah, I got my wife and all my friends and family, nephews, best friends, everybody with me here to support.
I'm going to ask you a personal question. Obviously, this is your first time doing this. What is your reason for coming out here today? There's obviously, I know tomorrow's Memorial Day, but I'm sure there's some sort of significance to you personally that kind of brought you out here tonight.
Yeah, I think this walk is dedicated for, there's a lot of, the number 22 is thrown out there quite a bit, and it represents 22 veterans that kill themselves every day to suicide. And while I'm still walking for that, I'm also walking for my brothers that I lost in Iraq in 2003. We lost 7 brothers that day, or on November 2nd, 2003, and just kind of a good way to get out and clear my mind and remember them.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate you being here, and good luck.
Thanks.
That's it.
Can you send me that picture that my sister?
Yeah, I mean, there's no rain scheduled at all this whole way. Seriously, it's gonna be awesome. Hey, Mom. Oh, that's really right.
Are you guys ready?
All right, that's ready. Ready?
Let's do this! Woo! Woo!
We're heading out.
Hey, someone drop the shirt.
I don't want that one.
Where's my runner?
Hey, Casey, Casey, you're right.
Oh, actually, this
Edward.
I'm coming.
Let's go, Eddie. Hey, give a thumbs up. God bless America.
No, I just heard about it. I missed it last year. Actually.
35-36 with para que de veras
All right, so is this your first time?
It is my first time.
How you holding up? We're a couple miles in now.
Hanging in there.
Good, good. What about you?
I'm on TV, Mom.
Good job, good job. Keep it up.
For tomorrow, and I'm like,
Not
am I
tomorrow.
12 hours early?
So strong, boys? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're catching.
I think.
The bright is going to kill your shot.
Good.
Keep it up, keep it up.
We just hit 6 miles back there a little bit.
Nice. Good job, good job.
Concise and mean. Sorry, just really trying to bring.
Looking strong.
Thanks. Thanks for helping out.
Keep it up, keep it up. It's starting to rain a little bit,
Well, that's all
but
right.
we can push through it.
Welcome at this point.
You guys got this. This you guys' first time?
That's first time.
Nice. You guys are in for a treat.
Just over 6 miles. Thank you.
Rain or shine, huh?
Rain or shine. All day, all night.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like Captain America said, I can do this all day.
There we go.
Got it?
Got it.
All right.
Good job, good job.
Alright, this is how it's gonna be. Alright, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming. I'll give you, for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm an Iraq veteran. I'm an Air Force medic. I'm a Gold Star wife. If you don't know what a Gold Star wife is, it means I lost my husband while he was serving active duty in the military. But unfortunately, I didn't get that knock on the door. There weren't uniformed men knocking on the door to tell me that my husband had died overseas. And the reason why I never got that knocked was because I was there when he took his last breath. I held my daughter in my arms. She was 21 months old at the time when my husband ended his life. And you've probably seen her running around here somewhere. Oh, she went to Starbucks. That's definitely my daughter. But I met my husband in Iraq. I was his medic. You know, I tell a lot of people that story. They're like, oh my God, that's so cute. Was it anything like the movie Pearl Harbor? No, it wasn't like that shit. It was not like Pearl Harbor. It wasn't cheesy or anything, and I like to think he looked a lot better than Josh Hartnett and, you know, the other guy. But we made it work. We had a long distance relationship. He was stationed at Fort Hood in Texas, and I was here in California. So, you know, we came back and forth to see each other. And my parents don't probably like that, but that's all right, huh, Daddy? It's okay now. But long story short, my daughter, we had a whirlwind relationship. We were together for we were together and married and pregnant within 8 months. That's pretty fast, right? And I know a lot of you guys are like, oh shit. But, military happens. I see you, Chris, nodding yes, because it happens. I've been there, done that. But, he was a good person. And when I try to describe him to people, the best way I can describe him is he was the type of person that if he was your friend, he was your best friend. He was your brother. He could walk into a room and he knew everybody. He would walk into a room and his personality would just light it up. That's just how big of a heart he had and how his personality was. People were just drawn to him, and there was something about him that I was drawn to. And I knew that I was meant to spend the rest of my life with him when he told me that he fell in love with my son, Mark. Okay. Those are my kids. But, it takes a pretty big person to tell you that, you're going to love somebody's child like your own. And there was no difference between him and my daughter. He loved them both the same. And my husband, he deployed when Lily was 3 months old, and he watched her grow up on Skype and on Facebook and through pictures. That's how he found her. But when he came back, like a lot of us veterans who have PTSD and depression, he wasn't the same person. He was one person at work, and then he was one person at home with us. And that's the thing that we try to get him help, but I don't think we received the support that we had. And unfortunately, on January 13th, 2013, it started off as any other day. He went and bought the kids donuts for breakfast, and we cooked and cleaned. And if you would have told me the day before that my husband would have killed himself the next day, I would have told you that you were crazy. But that's what happened. That was my life. So January 13th, 2013 is when he took his life, and when I became a widow before I was even 30. Because when you think of a widow, you think of someone who had maybe, I was supposed to annoy him for the rest of my life, and he was supposed to get on my nerves for the rest of his life. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and after his suicide, we had his funeral, and I don't really remember parts of his funeral because it's so blurry. But I'm grateful that my parents were there, my dad Sam and my mom Hilma. She was there for me and my brothers. So we came back to California. I moved in back home, and I remember sitting there in my room that I moved out of. I was so excited to move out, and there I am moving back in. I was like, oh shit. So I moved back in, and I'm looking at his uniform hanging in my closet, and I'm so angry at him, and I'm like, I hate him at that moment, and I hate the Lord, and I'm thinking what now? What do I do now? So there I am, and I don't want him to look this way because my mom's here. So there I am, I wrote suicide notes. I wrote suicide letters to my parents and to my kids and to my brothers, and I asked them to forgive me for what I was about to do and to take care of my children and to make sure that that they knew that they were going to be loved and that they were going to be taken care of. And so I'm writing my notes, and I'm going through my husband's belongings because I'm getting ready to pack it into his rucksack that he took with him to Iraq. And I found one of his field Bibles in there, and I'm opening it, and I'm flipping through the pages like, what good did this do him? It didn't do him anything. What's it going to do for me? So I'm just flipping through the pages, and I look down, and the first verse that I read was, submit yourselves to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And that comes from James chapter 4, verse 7. And I don't know if any of you believe in everything happening for a reason, but I do. Because my husband's name is James, and his birthday is April 7th. So I took that as a sign that I needed to stop feeling sorry for myself, and I need to fight for my life. I need to be a voice for him, and a voice for his brothers and sisters who are no longer here from us. And I actually have that tattooed on my wrist. I have James chapter 4, verse 7. So whenever I'm feeling shitty and, there's down days and I'm feeling hopeless, I can look down and remember, all right, this is what I need to do. So I sat there thinking, talking to him, and, oh shoot, my bad. We'll call it later. But, I was sitting there thinking after that, I have my notes ready, and I'm like, all right, he wants me to live. this is how it's going to be. What am I going to do in the space that he no longer occupies? So I decided to turn pain into strength for others. So I founded Veteran Suicide Awareness Project. And this is exactly what we do. We bring awareness, and there's so many of you out here. It's cold, it's chilly, it's probably going to rain on us tonight. You can be warm in your beds right now, but you choose to be out here with me and my brothers and my sisters, and with my brothers and sisters and my husband who are no longer here with us, because we're doing this for them. We need to be a voice for them, and I can't tell you how much it means to their families. So each of you have a flag, and on that flag is a picture, and on that picture, the picture is somebody who actually died by suicide. So I asked you to keep those flags with you and to post pictures so I can share with the family members, because it means so much to them I can't put into words, to know that somebody is remembering their loved ones and is they're saying their names and just not forgetting, because it's hard to admit. You know, it was hard for me to admit that my husband died by suicide because there's such a stigma. I was ashamed of it. I didn't want to admit it. But suicide isn't who he was. It doesn't define the man that he was or the father that he was. And I actually have someone from my husband's family in Texas that's here, Sylvia and Raul, and Edward is carrying their son. Their son was related to my husband. Like, that's such a small world. They flew all the way from Texas to be here, and that means so much to us, and you guys are forever a part of our family. So this is our biggest event. We have another one in June. It's a little smaller, PTSD awareness. And then we'll have a poker run coming up, because my thing is giving back to family members, especially children, because there's a lot of organizations that don't recognize suicide deaths as honorable, so to speak, and it's unfortunate because it's not. The ones that get left out are the kids, and that's not fair. And I don't want and I'm very honest with my children. They know how my husband died, and hopefully they want to carry on this legacy. And I hope that everyone who's carrying a flag is looking down on us, and they're proud, because they're not being forgotten. So I thank each and every one of you. You're all now, part of our families, and we can all lean on each other. Whenever you start to feel like you're alone, you're not alone. I was there. I know what it's like, and I'm glad I'm still here. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's still a struggle, but that's okay. You can fall down, but you can't stay down. You better get your ass back up, because that's how it is. And maybe some of you came alone tonight, but I guarantee you, you're not going to leave alone. You're going to make connections that'll last forever, and I love seeing that. I'm so happy that you're all here. I know some of you drove from far away, flew on a plane to get here, and let's all be safe out there. We have lots of snacks and water, and we need to try to stay.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets would glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the